Tom Chatfield, Critical Thinking, Your Guide to Effective Argument, Successful Analysis and Independent Study. Gain a solid foundation in the art of critical thinking through the informative book, Critical Thinking, Your Guide to Effective Argument, Successful Analysis and Independent Study, by Tom Chatfield. This book summary offers vital insights into the mental process behind evaluating arguments, differentiating between various types of reasoning, and understanding cognitive biases and their impact on decision-making. Acquire valuable lessons on how to engage with opposing perspectives, recognize fallacies and their deceptive allure, and navigate the reliability of primary and secondary sources. Master the nuances of persuasive communication and comprehend how technology influences our thoughts and beliefs.
Mastering the Art of Persuasion. The art of argumentation involves presenting a claim backed by evidence. A strong argument should compel someone to agree with your opinion by providing concrete reasoning. To understand an argument, one must assess the reasoning behind the statement. Emotional appeals and mere descriptions are not considered arguments. When dealing with an argument, identifying premises and assumptions helps in comprehending it. It's important to engage with the strongest version of an argument to challenge existing beliefs. In this case, strawman arguments or addressing another's weakest points are inadequate. When confronting someone's opinion, finding the strongest points in their reasoning is important, assuming that the person is honest and informed. Openness to having one's mind changed is crucial in critical thinking. This pushes a person toward continually searching for better explanations and better positions. Reasoning in different forms. The summary discusses the three forms of reasoning: deductive, inductive, and abductive reasoning, and their characteristics. Logic and reasoning are critical elements of our day-to-day lives. Deductive reasoning is a way of using logic to arrive at a conclusion. The job of deductive reasoning is to differentiate between accurate and incorrect reasoning. The objective of deductive reasoning is to find whether the conclusion follows the premises, not if the premises themselves are true. Inductive reasoning, conversely, is concerned with identifying trends by examining patterns. It centers on looking for justifiable reasons to believe something in the absence of logical certainty. Observations and the degree of certainty form the basis for inductive reasoning. Finally, abductive reasoning involves generating hypotheses to explain what we believe. Conjecture and uncertainty play crucial roles in this reasoning. The most reasonable and best explanation for what is observed is the ultimate goal. Scientists, for instance, utilize models to clarify the data they observe and test them. Our understanding of gravity is Isaac Newton's response to watching apples fall from trees. Think critically. Question sources and reasoning to evaluate claims, considering authenticity and relevance. To think critically is to evaluate the evidence that supports a claim. This involves questioning the sources and reasoning, considering how they connect to the world through accurate and relevant information. By doing so, you can determine whether the claim is truthful or not. When examining sources, determine if there is an agenda and what it is. Consider the knowledge of the authors and whether they are reliable. Can the claim be corroborated? What other knowledge is necessary to uncover? Additionally, review the type of reasoning applied and whether it is sound. With primary sources, authenticity is important, as well as the process used to create the evidence. Assess whether the results are representative and relevant to the argument at hand. When evaluating a secondary source, determine if it is reliable, reputable, impartial, and up to date. Consider whether anyone has replicated the results. It is important to seek the most influential and authentic sources in your subject area. Remember, good reasoning requires more than being coherent, it must be grounded in firm evidence. By questioning sources and reasoning to evaluate claims, you can determine whether they are authentic and relevant. Mastering the art of persuasion. Humans are instinctual and emotional, but critical thinking can help prevent poor decisions. Rhetoric is the art of persuading people through proficient expression of ideas. Effective communication involves trustworthiness, relevant content, emotional appeal, timing, and use of language to create closeness or distance. Impartial writing is important to present work free of bias. Analyzing the art of reasoning. The ability to recognize and analyze logical fallacies is crucial for critical thinking. A fallacy occurs when there is a faulty connection between premises and a conclusion, and recognizing them makes individuals more capable of detecting when someone attempts to mislead them. For instance, an appeal to popularity or an appeal to irrelevant authority are common fallacies. Informal fallacies depend on flawed interpretations of external facts, while formal fallacies exist in the argument's logic. To identify informal fallacies, it's vital to question whether personal opinions are presented as truths or irrelevant material masquerades as reasoning. By testing the same argument in a completely different context, we can identify supporting fallacies effectively. Recognizing fallacies helps individuals see where reasoning breaks down. However, fallacies have much of their force in the illusion of certainty that comes with them. Therefore, learning this art enables individuals to think critically and sensitively while avoiding the seductive nature of erroneous reasoning. The power of heuristics. The human decision-making process involves cognitive shortcuts known as heuristics. This strategy helps individuals to simplify complex situations and turn them into something more intuitive. People have developed these decision-making patterns due to their mental limitations and rapid decision-making instances in everyday situations. The four main types of heuristics, effect, availability, anchoring, and representativeness, guide the decision-making process. Each type guides an individual towards making decisions depending on their emotions, recalling ability, initial perception, and conformity to the expectations. Heuristics work best on reliable information and an individual's areas of expertise. Keeping cognitive bias at bay helps an individual in this process. Though humans are physically and mentally capable of processing vast information, they must allocate their mental resources judiciously. Merging decisions with well-established patterns and applying heuristics can lead a person to make better decisions in an intuitive manner. Overcome cognitive biases. Learn about cognitive biases through examples and understand how they affect decision-making. Our decisions are often influenced by various biases that distort our perception of facts and lead to poor decision-making. For instance, the framing effect examines how the same fact can be presented differently, leading to opposite reactions from people. A product advertised as 90% fat-free is more attractive to consumers than one stating it contains 10% fat. Another factor, confirmation bias, occurs when people cherry-pick evidence that confirms their beliefs and ignore any evidence that does not align with their views. The narratives we create to explain events also lead us to disregard facts that do not fit the story. The Dunning-Kruger effect demonstrates how unskilled individuals overestimate their abilities, while experts can be overconfident about their knowledge in unrelated areas. Intuition may also mislead us in decision-making by attributing significance to random events, ignoring essential aspects and patterns, and assuming predictability in situations. People often fail in large-scale complex decision-making because of cognitive biases and intuition. However, being aware of these biases and their effects helps individuals avoid their negative effects and make better decisions. Avoiding bias in a technological world. Technologies are not neutral and can influence our opinions and behaviors. They carry presuppositions that need to be acknowledged. Misinformation and disinformation are widespread, and it is crucial to investigate sources, images, and videos before accepting them. Critical thinking is essential for navigating the vast array of information available and presenting ideas with clarity.
In summation, Tom Chatfield's critical thinking equips readers with the tools and techniques required to dissect complex arguments, distinguish valid reasoning from fallacious beliefs, and cultivate a clear understanding of logic, induction, and abduction. The book highlights the importance of addressing opposing viewpoints, being attentive to evidence manipulation, and staying cautious about misinformation and disinformation. By honing your critical thinking skills and embracing self-awareness regarding cognitive biases, deceptive rhetoric, and intuition's limitations, you can navigate today's information-saturated world with confidence and clarity, ultimately making well-informed decisions.